The Baltimore bridge has collapsed, and now because of that, the Baltimore port has closed down. It is no longer taking ships in. It's not letting ships go out. So with that being said, I can only assume it's going to be at least weeks before they end up getting the canal open to ships coming in and coming out. If anything, I could expect they're trying their hardest to get the ships to go out, and they still might not let ships come in until a little while longer. So yeah, it could be a couple weeks for the ships to be able to go out that are still at the port, and then maybe a couple more weeks for ships to actually go into the port, and the Baltimore port is back to business. Other things that I'm speculating as of right now, because I'm an intermodal driver and I'm in Virginia. As some of you already know, some of the shipments are going to be coming to the port of Virginia. Some others are going to be going to the New Jersey, New York ports and Pennsylvania ports. Because the Virginia port is so big, I can assume that a lot of containers are going to be coming here, which means there's going to be a big increase in loads here, going to Portsmouth, coming out of Portsmouth, going to Baltimore and other places surrounding Baltimore. So I am going to be taking some of those loads. As an intermodal driver that's based somewhere around Baltimore, it's got to be kind of devastating, unless you are somebody that has no problem with come in doing regional work. You ain't got a problem going down to Virginia port and getting something, or going up to Pennsylvania or New York to go get something out of the ports. But one thing is for sure, this is going to be an increase in pay. Well, I can see shippers having to pay more because of such a higher demand at this point. That's crazy, right? Just the whole situation about the bridge collapsing is crazy to me. But another thing about this is, because the ports are going to be affected, they already have at Virginia, the Portsmouth port, VIG, has decided to open up an hour earlier. It was opening up starting this year at 6 o'clock. Now, because of this, Monday, starting April 1st, it's going to be opening up on at 5 o'clock instead. Now, they've done that before. Back in 2020, they ended up doing like 2 hours though. Like, their times of opening at that point was 5 o'clock, and then once the pandemic happened, they opened up at 3. Like I said, as of right now, it's just 1 hour earlier, but we'll see how bad it gets. If it gets like really bad as far as the containers are concerned, then I can see them opening up another hour earlier to compensate that as well. And that would help me out, because I like getting up early. So I already said I was going to be taking advantage of these loads going to Baltimore, whether it be a couple of weeks or be a couple months before this ultimately gets fixed and things go back to normal. But this should be a decent amount of money to be made. Almost might be worth buying another truck. That really depends on how long things go with this setback, because if the channel doesn't get open before the bridge is taken care of, then that is going to be a very long time, because the bridge is going to be out for at least a couple years. The last thing I want to say is, I think the ports are going to be backed up even more than they are now. Portsmouth is pretty bad. Norfolk ain't that bad, but both of them I expect to be pretty bad at this point. Very big opportunity for the other places, but as far as people that's based out of Baltimore, could be a big hit if you are not somebody that's trying to go down to Virginia, come get a load and take it back up. So let me know in the comment section if you are, wherever area you're at, if you're going to be affected by this, and if you plan on taking some, loads to Baltimore or not. So yeah, I'll see y'all in the next video.